we're 2 days away from Alabama opening fall camp, and we still don't have a crystal clear indication of what Maurice Smith is going to do. From what I've heard, he's still waiting to graduate before he can make that graduate transfer, and I don't think he graduates until a few days from now. What do you think is going to happen with this situation? It's one of the more odd situations that I've covered.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of it's tied up in the grad transfer rule. I'm sure there are some things he can do and can't do until the graduation actually happens. I think the calendar sort of put Maurice in a situation where it's very likely that perhaps staying is his best, smartest option. And Alabama has the 4 proven defensive backs, much like the defensive line, where we just said there were 4 proven guys. There's 4 proven defensive backs. Well, Maurice is semi-proven himself. He's been a significant player at Alabama, particularly on special teams, but he's played with the first team in big games when the Tide is in a nickel and dime package. So Alabama can really use Maurice Smith, particularly in the nickel and dime situation. So I think the opportunity to play is here. The calendar is sort of played in Alabama's favor. As just imagine if Maurice is leaving for, let's just pick out a school, Miami. I mean, he would have to get down there next week, learn the playbook while camp has already started. And I don't know exactly what their corner situation is. I think they return 1 starter. But for Maurice to get significantly more playing time at Miami than he would at Alabama seems like sort of a wild guess at this point.
We're absolutely in lockstep there, because I've been saying the same thing. It makes no sense. It makes more sense for him to stay at Alabama. If the goal is truly more playing time, it makes more sense to stay at Alabama than to go to Miami.
Yeah, and I'm guessing without knowing. I'm just guessing that if he's going to stay at Alabama, probably limited to the nickel and dime packages. Maybe Maurice felt he might be better served in terms of an NFL evaluation of him if he was an every down cornerback. That probably is why he wanted to go prove that he could do that, because at Alabama that opportunity is limited with Marlon Humphrey and Minka Fitzpatrick on the roster. So I can understand that, but it's gotten so late in the game, Aaron. It does seem like the playing time at Alabama just seems to make more sense, even if you are limited to the nickel and dime package. You need to remember Javier Arenas was a nickel back at Alabama. Now I know he had those punt return skills, but Javier Arenas was drafted into the NFL from Alabama's nickel position. So was Dequan Benzie. So you can get drafted out of that role.
Speaking with Jimmy Stein, you can follow him on Twitter at LJSLaw. Jimmy, I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you and tell you since it happened, but I was at the doctor's office the other day. I ran into Miller Forristall, and goodness gracious, he's probably about 235 now. I think he came in around 215 when he enrolled early. Oven mitts for hands, every bit of 6'5". Had a chance to talk to him a little bit. He looks like a guy that I don't know that they will have to call on him this year, given they got OJ and the experience that Hale got last year. But he's a guy I wouldn't be surprised if he made a contribution this year.
Oh, and he also, much like Anthony Averett, was a spring surprise for me, Aaron, in terms of they made a concerted effort to get him the ball. He has a big matchup problem from the H position. Alabama doesn't really have a clear guy at that spot, and I've said all summer long, and with your report right there just even adds more fuel to the fire. I half expect Miller to play, just simply because he creates a big matchup problem. He gets open, he catches the ball. I compare him, not the first, I'm sure, but I compare him to an H-back Alabama had in the earlier part of this decade, Brad Smelly, who also played as a true freshman when people didn't see that coming, and that's because, again, when you have a smart, crafty guy with good hands at that spot, that guy can get open. And Brad even left Alabama and played in the NFL. So